Lyra. Ponyville's got talent. So this, I've got some interesting stories about this card. I was actually in the room when everyone was suggesting ideas for this card. For those who are unaware, this is the second Create a card. It was the one at the first Gen Con. And that was a really interesting panel. We got to see how they go about creating cards and stuff like that. And as someone who was very interested in card design, it was absolutely worth going to that panel. But of course, the most interesting thing is, how did Lyra get created? So I think I'm willing to tell you guys this story. So first things first, they showed us a bunch of art. The first I don't remember most of the pictures. I do remember the Pinkie Pie, because that was the card that was selected for the BronyCon Create a card, which of course wound up being Remix Master, the white Pinkie Pie. But everyone more or less, like, Lyra got the highest votes, though I think people really wanted to vote for Pinkie Pie, but again, she was already selected. So Lyra got the most votes, and then we had to decide, did we want her to be an aggro card, a mid-range card, or a control card? And at the time, everyone was super sick of a Ballroom Blitz, Fluttershy Friend Animals, so they didn't want an aggro card. And they also weren't really like, what does mid-range mean? So they decided they didn't want to do a control card, and this was before Nationals had ended. I think it might have even been before the Swiss. I don't actually remember. So people kind of wanted her to be a mid-range card. Whether or not she succeeded at that, I will leave up to you guys. But so we went mid-range, and then from there, we started postulating a whole bunch of ideas. And I can't remember every idea. A lot of them were thrown out. I can, however, remember my idea, which I'm actually quite proud of, because when I suggested this idea, Trevor went, I like that idea. Even if that idea isn't picked, I am stealing that and we are doing it. It hasn't happened yet, but you know, that's fine. That's fine. I'm you know, it was a really cool idea, and I do like it. The idea, for those who are wondering, was at the start of your turn, if you have 10 or more points, draw an additional card, which I thought was pretty flavorful because she's got the 10, and Lyra likes hands, and hands is basically your cards. You put your cards in your hand, right? So I thought that was pretty flavorful, but it's also very much an aggro card, not a mid-range card. So it didn't get voted on because it's very clearly an aggro card. I really do hope we get to see something like that eventually, and you know, they already have the idea. I really think that having a cycle of friends that do something based off of your point total would be really cool. Because right now, nothing cares about point total. The only things that point total affect are the amount of action tokens you get and whether or not you win the game. But anyway, enough about that. That's not what Lyra is. What Lyra is what we voted on. And she went through some changes. What you see before you is not quite what she originally was. For the first thing, she did not exhaust. Yeah, that was a little silly. For the second thing, you revealed the bottom card rather than the top card. And the flavor for that was because this was a diving competition. So, you know, diving, so you take from the bottom. But I personally had some objections to it being the bottom, because the bottom card doesn't change nearly as frequently as the top card, and it's harder to manipulate the bottom card. And you can very easily get into a situation where it's like, oh, I've got a 7 on my bottom, I am just going to always keep a 7 on my bottom, and, you know, be able to dismiss literally anything. and that wouldn't have been very fun. So this is the card we wound up with. There were some iterations between that and this that we got in playtesting. I obviously can't speak about those because they're behind playtesting doors, but still, she did change quite a lot. And yeah, so did she succeed in her goal? Is she a mid-range card? I don't think so, honestly. She's a repeatable effect that dismisses. She kind of sounds control to me. So yeah, that missed the mark there, but that's okay. That was a bunch of amateurs designing a card, not professionals, right? And of course, on top of that, it's really, really tricky card. Like, it's very, very bizarre. Like, you look at this card and it's got a lot going on in that one paragraph, right? The opposing friend needs to enter play at her location. You may reveal the top card. You don't necessarily know what it is, and then if you do, and the power is higher than that of the opposing friends, you may exhaust this card to dismiss that friend. Like, that is a lot of things going on over there. And so you need at least 3 requirements for it to work, right? An opposing friend must have just entered play, must be smaller than the top card of your deck, and she needs to be ready, right? So, I don't know that she actually wound up being a good card. That being said, she's a very fun card, and since she was a pre-release promo, a lot of people were running her. And yeah, I don't think she's a bad card. I just don't think she's an amazing card. And the story behind her is great, absolutely. Like, the fact that the community got to create cards, and there's been 3. There's not, in addition to Lyra and Pinky, there was of course the Lyra Bond. For some reason, this fandom likes Lyra. I don't know what's going on here, and we're probably going to have another one at this year's BronyCon. Don't know if we're going to have another one at Gen Con since we didn't last Gen Con. That was kind of a bummer, but oh well. So yeah, I think that's about it for Lyra. Oh, and of course, I do like the Spinal Tap reference, right? But yeah, Lyra. Ponyville has got talent, and so does the card game community. We made this, guys. We made this. Maybe not you personally, because there were, of course, only about 20, 30 people in the room, but the community made this card. The community made Pinkie Pie Remix Master. The community made Lyra Bond. That's us, guys. We have got talent. That is awesome. And hopefully we get to do it again, right? So yeah, I think that is it for Lyra. Thank you very much, SkitterBeat, for submitting Lyra. Next on the list, we have got, my web browser is not cooperating with me. Very, very interesting card. We have got, oh yes, how could I forget? We have got Trixie, Rock Farmer. Like I said, someone submitted 3 Trixies, and we are hitting the 3rd one next time. So yeah, that is it for now. I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye.